What's tea?
I don't know, friend.
Well, we're going to get into it. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Max.
And this is the I Don't Know Friend podcast. So you know how we kick things off here. We're going to go ahead and get it started with some hot topics. What is we talking about today first?
Girl, so let's start off with Krishan. Since she's just posted her baby bump. So as you may remember, she did announce that she was pregnant about a couple of months ago, probably January or February, I'm not sure. But she did announce that she was pregnant, and nobody was really talking about it after the fact, like at all. But she did just come out with her tiny baby bump. So, what you have to say about that, friend?
I'm happy for her. I think she is pregnant. Honestly, I think Krishan is actually a genuinely good person. I think the baby is going to kind of calm her down a little bit and kind of bring her to reality. Hopefully, it'll help her stand up a little bit once she realizes Blue is not going to treat. I feel like she's like wanting him to treat her a certain way, and that he's just not gonna do. He's not gonna be consistent with it. And I feel like, once that baby get there, she gonna really see, how it is, how hard it is, and it's gonna grow her up a little bit. But I think it'll be cute. I'm happy for her. I think she really is pregnant, and I'm wishing her a safe and healthy pregnancy.
Well, good for you and your friend, child.
Why? What you think?
Okay, I do feel like Krishan, deep down is a good person. However, I just still feel like she's just misguided at her age. I feel like she just has a lot of, she's just learning and growing.
Yeah, she's young still.
That takes time. I don't care for her in Blue, so I don't really care to get into stuff with Krishan because it's draining, to be honest. It's just like toxic at its finest. But I never thought she was lying about the baby. But I mean, hey, it seems like she wants this baby, so kudos to her and her only. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
She's only 22. I had my baby at 22, and I think it really
22.
Yeah, that's y'all be forgetting that girl.
Why did I think a baby older than that?
She's a baby. So I feel like I had my baby at 22. I feel like it really matured me. I feel like it could really do the same for her. Because I definitely did some weird, some things I needed to stand up on about a nigga at 21, 20. So I'm not that bad, but we have our levels. So I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for her and Jonathan Jr. That's really that. I guess we mentioned his weird ass mama. Basically, so pretty much people have always been saying that she kind of, it gives vibes that she wants to fuck Blueface. Like that's what the vibe, the mama vibes be given, and people always say that. So she made a video and was talking about, I don't really care what y'all say about me as a parent, but stop saying that I want to sleep with him. That's weird. And trust me, my man's D is bigger, so I'm not even worried about that. And if that didn't prove that you want to mess with him, like it was weird. Why would you say that?
Right. It just gives very weird energy. Like it's not even funny, to be honest. Like, I'm legit concerned for you at this
No.
point. Like, you need therapy. Like, if this is really how you're really feeling, you need help, ma'am. You need help, because you should not have those type of thoughts about someone you birthed.
Right. She said, I got
Like,
my
it shouldn't
own
even
dick
come out
over
your mouth.
here. It's bigger than my son's. That's what she said. Was that supposed to prove that you don't want to? Like, if anything, that proved my point. That is the opposite of what you were
Like,
trying to do, ma'am.
you're steering us in the right direction, ma'am.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
CPS needs to be called. I don't know.
CPS should have been called. Maybe Blueface wouldn't be how he is.
No, for real. That's really what that is. That's why he dogs out ladies now, because his mama been acting crazy from the beginning. Anyway, that's really weird. The mama weird. She needs to be investigated. I'm not sure how recently stuff was going on. If the statute of limitations has not expired, I'm gonna need y'all to SVU Olivia Benson and go on and get in on that. Thank you.
Period.
Next, I guess we could talk about your favorite person, your friend, Ari Fletcher. Ari,
I knew you were gonna say that.
Ain't that your friend? Yeah. So basically, she tweeted at Uber Eats saying, "This is effing disgusting and unprofessional as F. At Uber Eats, I cancel my order so fast. I'm never using Uber Eats another day in my life. Y'all workers doing crap like that is effing gross." So she posted a screenshot from the app in which she said she messaged the driver, the Uber Eats driver. The driver says, "Yes, it is. Just give me one moment. I'm using the restroom." And then Ari said, "Can you please bring the food to the door before that? My concierge is waiting for you." And then the driver responded, "I'll have my husband do it." I guess at that point, Ari got mad, and that's when she canceled the order and then made the tweet. So, what do you think, friend?
I think she was ridiculous. If she was just doing, and Alicia was definitely being shady when she was calling Ari my friend. But the situation is just like, sis, go have your concierge go get your food then. Or you, at this point, you need an assistant. You don't need Uber Eats. You're too rich for Uber Eats. You need an assistant that can go and pick up your food and won't have to stop and do any bathroom breaks and come right to you. Because I seen nothing wrong with her telling Ari, "I'll have my husband do it. You'll get your food. You should be happy." What's the big... You're acting like I'm bringing your food in the bathroom at this point. I just feel like Ari did the most, like she always do. She always has to take it there and like shit on people. Like, I don't know. She just gives a very like mean girl, like I'm above you. And she just did too much. And if Uber Eats fired that girl for that, they're gonna lose a lot of customers. Because a lot of people was like, if you fired this girl for that. So yeah, I feel like she did the absolute most. What you think?
Same. Shout out to Sabrina, who drives the Chevrolet Spark. Follow up with us. Let us know what Uber tells you, because we finna be on their head. Because yeah, she definitely did too much. Clearly the lady don't have the food in the bathroom because she said the husband would bring it up. So clearly, like, that's the only concern I would have. And at the end of the day, that's kind of the risk you run eating out in general, regardless of it being an Uber Eats, at a restaurant, any of that stuff. I used to work at McDonald's. I used to watch the men make food, make y'all burgers with no gloves on. Yeah, I'm being for real. Shout out to y'all, because it wasn't mine. He put gloves on before he made my sandwich. But y'all, y'all got some dirty McChickens. I'm just being real. That's the risk you run. That's why you pray over your food, babe. Because if you want to make sure it's clean, you make it yourself. You hire you a little private chef or whatever to make it in front of you.
Exactly. Like that would be perfect for her rich ass.
Something like that. But you ordering Uber Eats with the common folk, and then for her to take it to Twitter immediately, like as if Uber doesn't already have a support, like you can't chat with Uber immediately through the app. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how many times I chat with DoorDash to get my money back immediately because this food is cold. But like, why are you taking it to Twitter? You took it to Twitter because for clout, you thought people was going to be on your side. I don't get it. At this point, I kind of think she likes that. That's her brand. Her brand is to be unrelatable and to have people not like her. And that's what she's trying to do.
That's terrible. Whoever's telling her that's a good idea, that is terrible.
That's her brand, and she's sticking with it. So go ahead, ma'am. That's what it's giving.
That's just the type of person she is.
That's what it gives to me. Like, that's all I think of her like as doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that. What you want to talk about next, friend?
So let's bring it to the Real Housewives franchise. If y'all keep up with them, we've been recently talking about them. So recently, okay, so if you don't know, Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon, regular Robin Dixon, they both have a podcast called Reasonably Shady. So Eminem basically is trying to deny their attempt because they're trying to trademark it, like turn it into lip glosses, lipstick. They're trying to like make like accessories with the brand on it. And Eminem is not having it. So he's more so denying their attempt to trademark it because they're trying to trademark it. And if you all know, Eminem has had shady trademark since forever, since he's been calling himself some shady. Not that long ago, but he's gotten a trademark. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So that's been a long time. Since 1996, he has had that trademark. So, of course, I don't think that they were thinking of Eminem when they were doing it. But listen, I don't care for Robin and Giselle. So, Eminem, do you. It's no longer Black History Month. Do what you have to do.
Thank you.
Now, do I think it's gonna work? I'm not sure because it is two different shadies. Like, it's two different worlds. Like, people that listen to Eminem probably don't even know Robin and Giselle. So yeah, so now they're trying to fight back, basically, you know, trying to fight the fact that he doesn't want them to trademark it. And they like, oh no, we didn't think about this because of you. So how you feel about it?
I'm happy that he's not letting them because, like you, I don't like them. Do I feel like it'll work? I think it just depends on the whatever judge they have, honestly. Because, like you said, they are completely different worlds. They're not using shady like he's using shady, so it's not even like. Right. I don't think they're ever gonna just use shady. I feel like it's obviously the shady is what is potentially gonna cause the quote unquote confusion with the brands, and they're never gonna just use shady. I don't feel like that's not their brand, so I don't feel like it'll necessarily be successful. It could, like I said, depends on the judge they get, but I feel like his pockets are deeper, so if he's petty enough, he can let it keep running out. He could definitely keep running the clock with the lawyers. So you'll just got to kind of see who wins, unless, I don't know, maybe Phaedra will give him a little discount or something, but the Real Housewives discount. But otherwise, they might be out of their league with that, fighting that one. So yeah, that's really what I feel. What's next, friend?
So I'm not sure if you all keep up with Monique and Derek from Life After Lockup. Well, Love After Lockup. So basically, they've been having, so it's this couple on Love After Lockup, and they met prior to being on the show. They were talking like, they were talking for like a year. So they were talking for some time. They were definitely talking for some time before they were even introduced to the show. Come to find out, Monique even got the reason they got on the show is because she was on like this prison wives group, like on Facebook. Why Monique was on a prison wives group, I don't know.
They be doing that.
She was on, just smoking the scene. Right. She was just scoping the scene, and a casting director seen her on there, reached out to her, and that's how they end up being on the show. So if you watch the show, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't watch it, Monique and Derek, their whole storyline is just great TV. But so they recently fought. Well, Monique, the one that's with Derek, his sisters do not like Monique for what? I don't know why. They're sticking to the reason that that's not his type. How you're going to tell somebody their type, I'm not sure. But they don't like her because of that.
Anyway,
Prior incidents. And they met up at the park and they did what it do. Okay, Monique had her sisters. Mind you, one of Derek's sisters is a trans female, and she swung first. She hit the sister first. A trans female, y'all. Now we're gonna be respectful, but at the end of the day, how you feel about it, friend?
Okay, I want to start by saying this is all alleged. Okay, my thoughts and my feelings, right? They're alleged. This is just being on TikTok, being on Twitter, being with the girls. You know what I'm saying? And putting two and two together. You know how we like to investigate. That's not Derek's sister, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's Derek's boo thing from before he went to prison. Okay, because if you notice how Derek interacts with males, it's very close. They're tight hugs. When Derek first got out, when he hugged his actual sister, it was the same way you would hug your brother. You know what I'm saying? It was a nice embrace. Why, when he went to go hug the other sister, quote unquote, it was a long embrace. She kind of laid her head on his side, on his shoulder. She had grabbed his face, like with both her hands. I don't hug my brother like that. Max, do you hug your brother like that? Any of your brothers?
I don't, however. I do feel like she does a lot of things for the camera. She's very, I want to be in the camera. I want to be in the camera. I'm going to give you a good scene. That's what she gives me.
So, maybe. But either way, it was very much giving my man. I miss my man. So, with that being said, the beef makes sense because why is you know what I'm saying? That's my nigga. He's claiming, he hasn't claimed me yet. He's claiming this girl fresh out. Now we got beef. So that's what I feel like the beef is for. Because that's not really his
it does make, I like your theory on it.
And
however,
like I'm not the only one with that theory. What'd you say?
Derek, he did an interview, him and Monique did all the way up with Angela Yee, and that's his mom's child. Like, she pushed her out.
Okay, well, if that's what y'all want to believe, then y'all can believe that. But I just feel like that's really the only reason for you to have that deep of a beef with your brother's girlfriend for not being his quote unquote type. Because if you watch like that episode when they first like meet, or when the family first meets or whatever, they legit had smoke as soon as they popped up. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was very much, I'm coming for you off rip. And it just gave jealous. There's no reason for you to have beef. If you feel like she's not your type, like, I'd be like, oh, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would just brush it off. It's not gonna be that deep. But I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. The fight itself, I don't even know. I haven't watched it in a minute. I don't know why there was actually fighting.
The real reason is that Derek's sisters don't like Monique.
There isn't a real reason. Well, what do you think the reason is?
Yeah. Well, I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt because all that fighting they just did. So I'm just like, it gotta be a reason. We know that there's no reason. They just need camera time and all of that. Because to be honest, Derek was saying when he was in jail, Monique was the one that was doing for him the most.
That's what he said.
His sisters would stand out, and that would be that. He said they really started to come around when they found out he was going to be on Love After Lockup. So Child, they enjoying this camera time. They enjoying it while they can get it.
Right. Which is crazy. Somebody in the
What?
captions was like, Derek's too short for all that. And I was just like,
It's always the short ones that's doing the most.
girl, he little. He itty bitty.
Right. If he had a little height on him, he'll be alright.
He still wouldn't be my type, but I would at least get it.
You're right. He wouldn't be my type, but
I would get it
I'd be
at
like, all
least.
right, look at Derek.
Yeah, I would get it. I'd be like, I see you. But now I'm like, this man about 5'4". Like, I can knock him down.
No, seriously.
Come on now. Like, punch him in his bird chest. But that's neither here nor there. People like short men, and let me not knock short people. Anyway, anything else you wanted to say about that one?
No, that's all I have to say about Monique and Derek, child.
All right, then that's pretty much gonna wrap up our hot topics for this week. We can go on and get into our topics. So this week, I felt like we were going to do something a little bit different. We decided we were going to kind of watch cringy-esque, side-eye, little bit of secondhand embarrassment type interviews and interviews and like videos, and kind of just give our thoughts on them. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. The first one we're gonna talk about is one with Drake and Lil Yachty. It was to promote Lil Yachty's sunglasses, right? His sunglasses.
Wow, that was literally just for his sunglasses?
Yeah. That's why they were bringing it up at the end. Yeah, and they were sitting
there.
They
were. I thought that was just, they were just bringing it up, but I legit thought Lil Yachty was doing like a podcast.
No, it was to promote his sunglass brand, whatever it's called.
Got you. One thing I will say about Drake, he gonna do something for you if he mess with you.
Yeah, he will. I will say that. But go ahead and give your thoughts.
What you gotta say about the interview?
Oh, me? I don't know. It was weird. Honestly, it was a little bit cringe for me. I promise you I had to watch it in like 3 different times. Like, I had to pick up and come back to it and stop and come back to it because it was just, I couldn't get through it all at one sitting. It was like 30 minutes. It was a lot. Toward the end, like the last part, like the last I watched wasn't that bad. Like, I was able to get through it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was just a little bit, it was a little awkward as far as, but I mean, I think it's just because Yachty is like asking questions and he's not really like, a journalist or anything. So it was just a little bit, I don't know, stiff maybe. And then I was expecting it to be a little bit funnier. Drake, even though I don't care for him too much anymore, I do know he is funny. So I was expecting to be at least entertained a bit more with him than I was. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. What you think? Those are my just initial thoughts. I did have some more thoughts. I wrote them down. Go ahead and talk about it while I bring up my notes.
Okay. So, okay. So the interview, to me, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. Now, I didn't finish it through one sitting. However, I only had like a good 10 minutes left of it. And of course, I'm gonna save that 10 minutes for another time. But I enjoyed it. I just felt like I definitely laughed, like I chuckled. I mean, I like Drake. I like Yachty. I feel like some of the questions that he were asking were more so like him wanting to know himself. Just him just asking questions, or maybe him just seeing a lot of questions that people ask, or maybe things that he's thought of and wanted to ask Drake. But I feel like it was definitely a good look for the sunglasses. Now that I know that it was just to promote his sunglasses, that's a big thing. Because, I mean, Drake, of course, everybody's going to watch it, not even knowing it's just to promote his sunglasses, because I did not know that.
Forever Mood.
But
that's
yeah.
Is that called? Forever Mood?
What you
Anyway,
say?
I was trying to think of what the name of the sunglasses were. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't even tell you, girl. But Drake, one thing I did notice is I was like, I never realized Drake had such a thick accent. And it's because it's forced. I love you, Drake, but that's a bit extreme, my brother.
That's because he's
Um,
always changing the damn accent. You never know what he's gonna
he
sound like
does.
today.
He does. And even at the very end, like he was just like, I'm gonna try to keep it a little PG. But he was like, we at this mother effer dog. And it's like, where's the Canadian accent? I didn't hear it in none of that you just said.
Thank you.
But I personally, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't cringy to me. It was just more like a dry kind of humor, kind of. But I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was a bit dry humor, and I like dry humor, but I don't know. I
I
just
did
felt like it
too.
wasn't. It wasn't that funny. I don't know. That's just me. I didn't know Drake had so many tattoos. I don't know.
He does.
I didn't
Mhm.
realize. I don't be looking at that man, and I mean he had like a
Well, yeah,
t-shirt on or
no,
something, tank
yeah.
top. I don't know.
He started getting his tattoos real late too.
Yeah, I know. Back when I was like into him, he definitely didn't have them like that. That's why I'm like, oh okay. Now seeing him again, um, and then I feel like when did Drake and Yachty really become friends? I feel like that was again. I don't really pay attention to them like that. I knew they were cool, but I've just noticed over the like past 2 years, I'm starting to like. It seems like they are really close now. I don't know. You think it's
Yeah,
like
I've
an odd
known that
friendship?
Yachty was in Drake's circle for at least a little minute. I've known. I didn't know the gap though. Like Yachty is 25, Drake is like what,
35.
35?
Yeah, Drake's old.
34?
Yeah, he's 35. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how big the age gap was, but yeah, they're definitely pretty close.
Which also is he's 36. Drake is 36, which is also interesting that of makes their friendship dynamic a little interesting considering they're so different in age. Um,
Right.
yeah, he had talked about like that time when he got into full prosthetic makeup to sit in court for somebody, and people still knew it was him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I was expecting Drake to be a little bit funny because he used to do like them. He used to be in like little like SNL type skits and stuff like that, like 5-10 years ago. When he would host like award shows, he had hosted like the what's it called, the ESPYs? Is that what it's called? ESPN something, some type of sports stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
right.
he used to do
the
like
NBA award show.
Yeah, something like that. So he was doing like, the promotions and all that stuff. I feel like he's kind of just backed away from that type of stuff now. I don't really see him out. They did talk about the chain thing being a joke. The engagement
They did.
ring.
I'm glad you brought that up because as soon as they talked about it, I was like, me and Alicia was talking about this.
I don't think it was a joke. I think it was real.
It was very hard for me to believe that he proposed to that many women. Like
It said that he thought about proposing, not that he did.
Child, Drake think about a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like he was really like to be 41 different times. Damn, I could marry this girl. Like that's the thought that came. To me,
and that just
baffling.
Every woman was right. Nothing was wrong with the woman. It was you, Drake.
That's what it was giving to me. Like he's the problem. There's no way.
He admits that a lot in his, like, if you really listen to his music, he literally will tell you like in Wait For You, he literally said what did he say?
He said it was
about commitment.
Right.
He was just basically saying he has a life that You can't promise that he's gonna be
Yeah.
there and love
He
you
has a
and how
career that
you
take.
want him
I
to
have a
be.
career that takes my time away from women.
Right. I can't think of it, and I think it all the time. But right, so he literally tells you how he is. So I feel like you're a woman. You take that how you want to take it.
I know,
Hey, if
but
you're just down for the ride, be down for the ride, but
I'm
don't
mad that
go
he be
in.
saying he be trapping. When has Drake ever trapped, babe? Tell me. When in between takes of Degrassi? Come on now.
Don't do him, Alicia.
Stop it, because he's one of them people who likes to pretend that he, you know what I'm saying? Like that was we talked about before. Like what's his name? King, Ti son. That we
Oh,
want
right.
us to just feel like he really from the street so damn bad, and it's like, baby, just you had that spoon, just own it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You tell your own story, be your own person. Why are you lying? Like you did not trap around the world. I refuse. Because Future
I
didn't
mean,
say
he
that.
did start
Future said
but
travel
did
around the
he
world,
really?
but he said trap.
But
You
did
know
Drake
why?
really? I don't think Drake was just handed it
I don't think it was
though. You
handed,
know,
but he wasn't trapping.
he
Like
definitely
be
got
for
guns. He got his guns. We know that for a fact.
he what?
But yeah, I said he has his people now. But Drake is
But
very
he
well
was
protected.
not.
In Toronto. You can't, do you know they said the traffic in Toronto when Drake is in a car is ridiculous.
I
They
believe it.
block off roads. There's no way you can even get near to the truck that he's in. So Drake is well protected.
I
So
didn't say
maybe
he
that's why he
wasn't.
gives off the
That don't.
persona.
Yeah, but don't pretend that you. Anyway, that's that's that head shit I'm talking about. We're not gonna get into that right now. Anyway, whatever. That's pretty much all we gonna really get into that. I suggest y'all watch it and let us know what you think. Because I don't know. I felt like if you agree with Max, you enjoyed it. You agree with me, it was boring. Let us know.
The choice is yours.
The choice is yours. So we can go ahead and get into the next one topic we were going to talk about, which is
The City Girls.
The City Girls, yeah. So it was that, I know, I'm sure y'all saw it on Twitter, that weird, awkward interview that girl did at Rolling Loud with the two of them. Just go ahead and talk about it, Brian.
Girl, okay. So, is her name Kristen?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, so basically, she did an interview with the City Girls. This was for Rolling Loud. So basically, she was set to interview them, and it was just giving like it was just awkward. Like she didn't really come prepared. Like she was just like, "Do y'all know today is the 50th day of hip hop?" And it's not the 50th day, it's the 50th year. And they were just like, no. And she was like, me either, but they told me to say it. And it was just weird. And then Carisha was like, okay, so let me get into it first. So basically, she did a terrible job at interviewing them and then tried to make it seem as if she went on a little Twitter rant and basically was like, the community really don't fuck with you if you're not fully black. Let's be honest. Somebody commented and said, no, baby, it was just a really bad interview, like horrific, nothing to do with race, learn and grow. And I agree because it was a really short interview. If y'all have seen it, it's like a 2-minute clip of her just barely interviewing them, just talking to them. I feel like she wants to be the type that wants to be interviewed, not interviewing someone. That's what I don't know. She was just all over the place to me. What do you think, friend?
I agree. People on Twitter were saying she's like some type of blogger or something. I feel like she was unprepared. She was trying to make it relatable, but City Girls weren't on it, so it just wasn't giving It wasn't giving. JT wasn't playing that. She's a Sag. Like, bitch,
Right.
I'm here. She's serious about her music. So, she's gonna joke. She's gonna keep, but come prepared. And so the girl really wasn't doing that. And so, like, at first, Carisha's like, oh, I recognize you. They figure out where they recognize each other from, some type of trip, but they just kind of like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, let's do this. Like, it was really just, and that was at the top of the interview, so that was a little weird. Granted, Carisha brought it up, but she could have just been like, yeah, we went on a trip together and called it a day. But she's like, I don't know, where you know me from? Like, it was just giving, like, she was trying to make it, I feel like she was trying to be relatable or personable, like, as if they're close friends. Like, she was trying, I feel like she was trying to act the way they act.
Right. That's what I more so meant when I said that she wanted to be interviewed. It was just more so given that she wants to be on the red carpet. She don't want to be she wants to be with one of the girls. She don't want to be working.
I feel like she was just trying to act more like the way the city girls do, like their behavior toward each other. Right. When in reality, you don't really know them like that, and you are doing a job. So, like, yeah, you could be a little, okay, but you still got to keep it cute. And I don't feel like she was doing that. So then, even with her line of questioning, like, why would you ask if they get jealous of each other? And then when they're like, no, then you go further into explain it and then be like, are you sure? Like, why are you pressing it? Like, it just gave, like, it was like she's wanting them. She's trying to start some type of controversy. I'm assuming for some type of more clickbait. Mind you,
and she wants to be the person that breaks it.
Yeah, she thought it was gonna make the interview more juicy, more clickbaity. Mind you, I mean, it's known, we know it, but it's because of you. Like, they already said no, like, we're not gonna be jealous of each other. And then she was like, well, no, because hip hop is a competition. Bitch, they're group mates. Why they shouldn't be competing with each other? Like, what would the point of that even be? It doesn't make sense. So it was just like the line of questioning was weird. The whole situation. And then, yeah, like you said with the tweets, like, because she said some other stuff too. What is she, like, she was trying to excuse herself and, like, make it seem as though that's not what happened.
Right.
Because then she tries to double down. She was like, because at the end of the day, I still got paid. Then she goes, the industry is literally high school. Then she goes, the girls that don't like me all... What? The girls that don't like me all look the same. Then...
That's exactly how she wrote it.
That shit really ain't that serious. Then some FYI, when footage is raw and unedited like that, and when people throw things at you last minute as an interviewer, it's because someone on the job doesn't want you to do good. Nothing I haven't dealt with before. It doesn't seem like it's nothing you haven't dealt with before, though, because it seemed like that was your first interview.
Right.
Like, and even if they threw a question at you last minute, like, how hard is it to say a question, babe? Like, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing she said they threw at her was it being the 50th anniversary of hip hop. You said it wrong. So you can't read? Is that what you're... Why it's a problem that they threw it at you last minute? You need practice reading it over so you can... Like, I get that. Ain't no shame. The American education system is trash. But say that. Right. Say that. Don't make us be like, we're weird, baby. It's you. Don't gas
right.
But yeah, honestly, that's it. It was really a short interview, so there's really not that much to talk about. So that's all I really got to say. Any last thoughts, friend?
Nope, that was it.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get into the next one then, and it is the Deion Sanders interview, and he is a football coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah, look at me. Sports.
Ex-football player.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Clearly, I know everything about sports. I obviously knew who he was and definitely understood everything they were talking about in the interview. Yeah. So he was on some white man show. Go ahead, because I don't even know why I'm pretending like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Go ahead and explain
Okay.
it.
So basically, he was on this one show. I will get the name in a second, but he's basically was on this podcast with Rich Eisen. I think that's how you say his last name. Now, I don't know him, but I do know Deion Sanders. So basically, it was, basically an interview. They were talking about the Super Bowl. If anyone knows, Deion Sanders recently left JSU to go coach at Colorado. So they were talking about that. And there was one part that did cause a little bit of controversy. So Rich, the guy that owns the podcast, is his podcast. He basically, we're asking him, how's the recruiting? How's it been with getting guys on the football team? Has it been easier? And, Deion just went to telling them what he looks for. And he was basically saying, with the quarterbacks, they make sure, smart, your grades has to be up to par. Two-parent household, not slacking off, just an all well-around guy. He even had a height limit that they had to be, all of that. But he then made a comment saying the offensive linemen, that's a different story.
Defensive.
They can come from,
Defensive.
Wait, I didn't hear you.
Defensive lineman.
Defensive lineman. He was basically saying that they can come from a single parent household, free lunch, their mama ain't making it. Like, he was just very, like, just coming from, like, the hood. I guess that's what he was basically trying to explain.
Say, but not say.
Right. So people had some things to say about that. And I will say I watched this other podcast recently and they made a comment basically stating that you can look at it as if, anybody that knows, I guess, with football, it's like, it's the black people play it, but white people run it. So it's like, that's how it used to be back in the old days. They would have like the black good kids the black boys to, play on the team, but they're the good ones, and they have like their star as the quarterback, and basically like Proud Boys kind of type of era, a little bit what it was given. So he was basically stating that the podcast that I watched, they were basically saying that that's what they used to look for, in football. Like that's what the norm was, basically. If that's really what he's going for when he recruits, I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't feel like it's like, why would you want? Why does it not matter what type of life the defensive player plays, but the quarterback? I know the quarterback is the star, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like the comment was a little unnecessary, and I like Deion, so I didn't really too much care for the comments. But I will say this: when I watched his documentary, or when I watch any documentary, they be going through the slums, Alicia. They really be going through it. Like, I'm just trying to make it. I want my mama to get out. So it's not like he was lying, but why would you, like, I don't know. It was just given that you only care about the quarterback, and people was also saying, well, his son shouldn't even be quarterback because his mom, the son's mom and Deion are divorced. So he wouldn't even make the cut. I guess he would make the cut because he was tall and probably had good grades. But he wouldn't have made the cut with a divorced household. So what you have to say about that, friend?
Honestly, it's rooted in white supremacy, like you were saying earlier. And it's kind of sad that they're still looking like that. That they're still kind of using those same tropes in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you could have be from a 2-parent household, have a dad, and still don't know how to listen. Period.
Right.
So that was kind of his reasoning behind it. Being able having a father. Well, he said having a father, that 2-parent household, a father figure that you listen to. Da da da. I feel like it's still going to be dependent on the person in general, but it's seeming like he's only looking at certain players if they meet that criteria first. And so to have such a generalized view on that is going to really eliminate a lot of people who could potentially
good people
be that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of young men who don't have 2-parent households who
and they can't change that. That's not their fault.
And would be an excellent quarterback. But they have that hunger. They have that drive. They're gonna listen to They're gonna be able to do the job. Point blank. Period. You know what I'm saying? And then same thing, vice versa, on the other end, because they're making it seem as though, because they were raised on a single, like, just with a mom and they're poor, they got all this aggression and they're gonna just want to take it out on the field, and that's why they want them on those positions. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
it's just giving. It just gives, like, it almost lets you know, like, it makes you second guess if the quote unquote love you have for the game and your players is genuine, because that's how you that's how now we know that's how he viewed them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you don't got a mama, you're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's a side eye. It's a huge side eye, bombastic side eye. Like, I don't know. It's sad, honestly.
And to be honest, I have the side eye a little bit now too, but before this, I like just the morals that he teaches the football team, and like he posts, a lot of his daily activities with the team and things like that. I've watched plenty of his documentaries, like, the progress with the team. He just seemed like a all right man to me, an all around dude to me. He just seemed like he really cared. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too much of a fan with that comment. And before the comment, he was more. I didn't question Dion or anything. Now, right, I'm him with the side eye a little bit.
And it's definitely is worse coming out of the mouth of a black man.
Exactly.
To the face of a white man. Like,
right. And then your son is the quarterback. If he weren't your son, would he really be the quarterback? Let's talk about it.
It really is just, it's sad. It's something you would expect coming from, like I said, a white coach, because it's basically like, if we're following certain stereotypes and statistics, right, you're looking for a white quarterback and black defensive players. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's what it's giving. Mm-hmm. And so, and aren't, like, the majority of the quarterbacks in the NFL are white, right? Like 98%, 99%.
Right. Yes, not a lot. Yes, not a lot of black quarterbacks. And we have Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes. He's biracial, but if you want to count him, Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Oh, you ain't say he don't count.
He's half white.
Well, what is that? No, he mixed with something.
But his mama black.
His mama is black, but she looks like she mixed.
But she black, so I ain't gonna argue with you about this. He count.
We gonna handle this right now.
If your mom is black, you're automatically black. I don't care what your pappy is. If your
okay, so Russell Wilson is 62% African, 36% European, and 1% West Asian.
You know what's crazy? And they were talking about it on the other podcast. They were talking about how like majority of black people are at least 20% white.
Right.
I refuse to believe it, bro. I refuse. I'm not gonna get at Ancestry.com
I'm
because
gonna be Marquita.
that we're talking. No,
Not
for
me.
real. I refuse to believe that. That's why I've been always low key been scared to do it. Cause what if I end up being like 19% European, bro? I'ma fall out. I won't know what to do with myself.
I'm
I'm a
like,
nigga.
girl, tell me about your people.
Oh, exactly. You will never let me live it down. I can't do it. I don't believe in those ancestry tests anyway. I damn sure don't believe I should have to pay for it. But they be selling
Right.
you.
Why
They be
do I have
selling
to
your
pay to know
DNA and
what
shit.
I'm
I don't
on?
trust it. I don't like that. They sell it to insurance companies to make it harder for you to get life insurance, and they be selling it to different Crime Stopper teams so they can run your DNA to then help solve crimes, which is cool for certain things, but you're not gonna put me in that. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they caught the Golden State Killer. One of his cousins did one, and so they could narrow down the bloodline, and then just started guessing from there, and eventually they got him. But anywho, that's really all we got to talk about old boy. Either way, we need you to do better. We expect more from our black men. Bringing up black men. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
That's really it. So next we're gonna go on and talk about, oh Lord, the Chris Rock stand-up special, child.
Go ahead and start that, child.
Now, we haven't really talked about it too much, me and you. Me and Max are friends in real life. We talk every day, and we had to like literally not talk about it.
The sidebar conversation.
We had to like not talk about it so that we could talk about it on the pod. I didn't think it was funny. I chuckled at a couple. I chuckled when he talked about his daughter being a biter. And one of the abortion jokes. I don't know. That was it though. Those are the only two times, and it wasn't like
funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that made me chuckle.
I chuckled at that one, and then yeah, that was it though. Oh, otherwise I'm just kind of sitting there. I don't know why he decided to go in on our girl Meghan Markle, and I say our girl because I mean my girl, and while I don't know too much about her, she's still my girl. Because she secured the bag. She got her big one. Okay? Shout out to the sisters.
There's nothing better than to be in a royal family and they don't like you, but you have the son. Hello, somebody.
Listen. She done watered that bloodline down.
Watered
that bloodline down.
All for her.
I don't get why he spent so much damn time talking about her. I really feel like Harry finna speak his mind, because you know Harry be sticking up for his wife. So
he do.
I'm it was just kind of boring, and then obviously the end was crazy and ridiculous, and I feel like, I was expecting him to speak on the Will slapping him situation, obviously, but I feel like he spent the majority of that last 10 minutes talking about Jada. He's probably spent 3 minutes talking about Will and 7 minutes talking about Jada. So it was just really strange. Like, it's giving obsessed, like Jada's people are saying, and it's also giving like that he's really trying to, like, he got beef with a woman when the nigga is the one that slapped him. Like, I don't get it. It's so strange to me. And it almost feels like he needs to get slapped again because maybe he didn't learn his lesson the first damn time. I don't know. That's just me, though. But anyway, what are your thoughts, friend?
My thoughts were, some parts did make me chuckle. However, yeah, with the whole Jada thing, I feel like he was definitely going in on Jada some more. So it's like, well, are you really looking for an issue at this point? But Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie. At the end where he dropped the mic, I felt like, and I don't like to say this, but I kind of felt like it was a pity party. Like it was feeling like the audience was just like laughing because they knew they had to laugh. It wasn't really like a mic drop moment. However, at the end, I was feeling like, oh, okay, he got his moment now. Like it was more so like a okay, he didn't say anything for a whole year. Um, and he decided to speak out on it when he felt right to do it, for the special or whatever. But I guess I was glad he got to finally say what he wanted to say. It definitely wasn't more so towards Will though. Like he had more to say about Jada than Will, so I do agree with that. But they did bring up some clips, and in the stand up, he said Jada asked him not to do the Oscars. When in reality, Jada never said that. She even made a video telling him they will be cheering for him. They just won't be attending or watching. But she said if it could be anybody that hosts the Oscars, it would be Chris Rock. So she definitely was team Chris Rock. So I'm not sure where he got that from, like that she wanted him to quit it, because she literally never said that in her video. You can go back and find it or watch it, but she never told him not to do it. But I mean, yeah, it. I'm not a Chris Rock fan, so I knew I wasn't gonna laugh. But yeah, I got a chuckle or two out, and I'm glad he finally got to say what he would like to say. And maybe, just maybe, it can be all over now, because that was a year ago. However, people heal differently. He got slapped very hard, so maybe it just took him a little minute to get over it.
I don't think it's over only because of what he said. I feel like if
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be over, but in due time.
Honestly, I feel like if he'd addressed Will more directly, it probably would be. But because he wanted to go in on Jada once again, it's only going to continue it, and maybe that was the goal, if we're being honest. Because here we are talking about it, and it wasn't a good special otherwise. So, but everyone at least watched that. So, and he got $20 million for it. So, I'm sure he ain't mad.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Period. Do your thing. So the next one we wanted to talk about is Portia on the Tamron Hall. Is it Tamron Hall?
Tamron Hall. Who said that?
Huh?
That's Portia's favorite line. Who said that?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, Portia's a mess. So just for a little bit of context, when she was on the Breakfast Club, she basically was saying how she felt attacked when she did that interview and was not supported. So we kind of wanted to go back and really watch the interview just to see what Portia was talking about. So go ahead and tell us what you thought, friend.
So if you did not watch the interview, she said she felt like she was being attacked because of the questions that she was being asked. She was there for a book. However, that was around the same time frame that she decided to get engaged to one of the castmates' ex-husband. So, that was a lot of controversy. And I do see that you're here to talk about your book, but sis, we got to talk about it. So she just didn't like how Cameron, to be honest, I'm not sure what Portia didn't like Cameron for, to be honest. I don't know why she felt like she said, this was Portia words, she bigs you up to set you up to say something. She doesn't big you up to set you up to say something. What you respond back is what you respond back. And I mean, Portia, let's be real. You really wasn't on Housewives because you did not want to take all the heat for this. You knew that was going to be that storyline. So you just didn't want to be asked the hard, tough questions that everybody in the world was wondering. How were you engaged to somebody that wasn't even divorced yet? So it's not even that Tamara was disrespecting her. What I feel like, my personal opinion, I felt like Tamara was very respectful. She talked about her book long enough, and then she got into the juicy stuff. Because let us know, you already got well, she had the reality show Portia and Friends, or Portia and Family, and they was cutting up on them. So Portia just felt like Cameron was being a little messy when Cameron is a journalist and a really good journalist, in my opinion. I didn't feel like she was disrespecting her at all. However, I'm not Portia. But yeah, I just feel like Portia just don't want to answer tough questions. That's what it was given. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. So I felt like she felt I assuming what she meant was she bigged her up and then knocked her for the tough questions because she only talked about the book at first and was very respectful and whatever when Portia was talking about like the abuse and Kelly and whatever other crap she was talking about that was in her book. And then when they moved to like the other stuff, I think it just caught Portia off guard because she ended up saying like something about cheat, like because Cameron brought up Portia bringing up Simon, asking Simon if he had ever cheated, and Portia starts to say, "Oh, it's their culture." Now I don't know because this was a year ago. I have a feeling people weren't happy about that. It's definitely like a joke and like words that stuff people be saying about Nigerian men, but at the end of the day, that's still a stereotype. So I could imagine she got backlash for that. To say that that's their culture, and then I think like you said, it just kind of caught her off guard.
She was making excuses. She was making excuses because that's what she wants to put up with. So she like, well, it's in their culture. Like, no, ma'am, no.
Right, and it's not. It's just he did, and I mean, it is what it is. It's not like he cheated on her. So a lot of people do cheat. So it's not nothing. It's not that big a deal. Like, it was weird for her to have asked the question in general just because it's Portia, but TV. So at the end of the day, I feel like she was just mad that I feel like she basically just didn't want to talk about Housewives at all. I kind of feel like maybe she thought, maybe once she sat down and they were talking, she felt like it was going good and it was just book stuff, and then she segued into the Housewives, and that caught her off guard. Because if you notice, when they first, like at the beginning of the interview, when she first comes out, Cameron's like, "Oh, I heard you were nervous about this interview. I don't know why." And Portia's like, no, trying to play it off. But she probably was nervous because she didn't want to talk about that stuff. And so she thought she wasn't, like, she thought she kind of made it through because she hadn't brought it up. But then, at the end, she brought it up. So I think it kind of just caught her off guard, and it made her feel a way because she was trying so hard to, like, avoid those questions. And so she tried to clean it up at the end. But per usual, I mean, if she felt how she felt, we can't really knock it. But personally, I don't see it. I don't really even think it was like a bad interview. I think it was a good interview. I think Portia did well, answering the questions, and that she gave an answer. She didn't really like brush it off per se. She did a little bit like with the whole
right. She answered the question, decent.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. So and
Portia is a year later. Word, so we'll just say that.
Yeah. And she brought it up like a year later is a little odd, but at the end of the day, Portia gonna do what Portia gonna do. And I guess she had that hidden beef, and she decided to bring it up now.
Right. She did bring it up because Angela Yee
Yeah, it was on there.
comment, when she was on there. So that's why she brought it back up. But right, she's been harboring that because that was a little minute ago.
Right. She done got married, did all this other stuff now. Like, it's kind of in the past. But it was on her heart. Hopefully, they'll get to talk it out. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. Any last thoughts you have, friend?
No, I do not.
All right. Well, that is actually going to be the end of our show. I do want to thank y'all for listening. Follow us on at I don't know friend on all of our social medias. And I want to thank y'all for bearing with us. We're dealing with our new mics, trying to get those situated. We will get it together next week. Anything else you want to say, friends?
Stay messy, stay blessed, and mind your business. But if they put it out there, we gonna talk about it.
Period.